Orange is the New Black Season 3, Episode 12. Well, the first thing I have to address, the chicken is back. And I can only imagine this is the result of the crew getting tons of questions asking what the hell was the deal with that one chicken episode in the first season. So they bring it in, and now it's used to show that there is a big hole in the fence. And that is definitely going to come into play somehow in the season finale. Like someone's going to escape, and I really have no idea who it will be. So that's an exciting thing going in there. One thing I really have to compliment the show on at this point is uh, that Sophia kind of dropped out of sight in season 2. She just showed up once in a while to cut someone's hair, and it was kind of understandable with the V storyline taking up so much space, but here she's slowly become more prominent again, and it has its climax when she gets this whole transphobic faction against her and ends up getting sent into solitary for her own protection, supposedly. And it's great to see that there is never any question throughout the filming of this whole storyline of whose side we're supposed to be on. Because the time we live in, there really are people who will just attack a transgender person for being transgender, and the law will protect them. Like they can plead that they couldn't help themselves. And so having shows like this show how wrong that is a good first step in combating that attitude. So well done on all counts there. And I hope she does come back later on because there needs to be some kind of payoff to that besides just the message itself. There's a nice bit between Red and Healy where he saves her ass by giving her some fresh corn after the one she was planning on is eaten. Hopefully it doesn't lead to anything more because the moment as it stands is good enough on its own, and I really would not like to see them go there just because this is a really good thing for Healy to do, but he still has a long way to go to get in my good graces after the stuff he's pulled before. So I'm hoping that this is not meant to be one of those issues I said before I can't stand, where someone does one good thing and we're supposed to forget all the bad things they did. Of course, there's also the main plot, which is Daya finally has her baby, which finally gives us some kind of clock for this season because we haven't had a holiday episode since the season premiere at Mother's Day. And so this lets us know it's 9 months after she first got pregnant in season 1, which means we're about halfway through Piper's 15-month sentence. So that gives us some inkling of how much longer the show has to go, assuming it still keeps this pace up. And through this whole season, we've had Mary Steenburgen as Mendez's mother. And I swear she has not aged since the 80s. You could have put her in as someone Piper's age, and I would buy it. But there's this whole thing where she wants the baby, and Daya has to decide. And I have to admit, I was never really that interested in it, especially because Bennett is taken out as a factor because he just disappears out of nowhere early in the season, which I'm, again, assuming has to do with them not being able to keep the actor that long. Because otherwise it feels like a really weird writing choice to just have a guy with this huge stake in the whole situation not be involved in it. But it comes to a really dark ending here where Mendez's mother thinks the baby was stillborn, and it really isn't, and he's being sent to live with their family. So that is going to end in a very ugly way, I can tell already. And it really shows it like the dark side of everyone involved that they can pull off something like this. And so I'm very interested in where that's going. I can't really predict that much, but it's going to be like some kind of explosive thing. And that is going to be something to see going into the season finale.